Echo Weaver is a time loop metroidBRAINia, although some people hate that term, all about using the information you collect to solve puzzles and progress. In a normal metroidvania, you might progress with like gear and upgrades and things like that. In our game, it's all about secrets and knowledge. Everything you will ever be able to do in the game, you can already do. You just don't know how to do it yet. It's a game all about secrets. If you like games where you don't get your hand held and there's just a whole dense world to explore and uncover, both narratively and mechanically, and then you pair that with the platforming, that's where we really were trying to do something unique.
When you play it, you wish you could go back, scrub your brain, and play it again for the first time.
These kind of knowledge-based games, they make you really think about the order of the actions you're going to do. One of the specific fantasies that they try to sell you is also the feeling of being a speedrunner.
We're going to make everyone feel like a badass speedrunner, even though, you don't have to be like technically good at platformers to enjoy the game.
You can always just restart the cycle and start experimenting with that and start thinking maybe I should do A instead of B, or maybe I should do B and then A.
Players are going to discover a lot of really interesting characters.
There's a lot of fun things I can find in the whole world and lore as well when it comes to the different characters. The art for me is in a color palette and style that I really enjoy in games.
I think we're playing a lot with really interesting themes and a really interesting story that I haven't really seen in a game before. So people will join us on our ride for our kind of interesting, quirky sci-fi game.
Echo Weaver feels like something you would like to enjoy playing, and you would like to enjoy like trying to hack into it. And how do you achieve that?
I think there's some like implications that make it a little bit easier, but I think at its core, there's those kind of games we like uncovering a mystery, kind of like being able to like play the same thing and get more and more knowledge out of it and just kind of grow and explore more over loops.
This is a difficult genre to design for. It's taking those basic blocks, which have to be solid, but it's then how do these blocks interact with each other in ways that are unexpected and are not immediately apparent. And I think the fact that there's not very many things like it just shows how difficult it is to do.
The time loop setting kind of ended up being just a really great way to house a knowledge-gated game. And this is the same reason other games, I think, do that.
We've seen people do it in like first attempt, like 3 or 4.
I was killed a lot of times, several times. It took me like 10 runs to actually have the grasp of it. It's that sense of rewarding of, oh my god, yes, it wasn't that impossible to beat.
I got through probably in fewer cycles than the average person.
I think I finished it on cycle 6 or 7, I think.
We have some hardcore fans that have managed to do some wild things with it.
I mean, there's a lot special about it. Like, mechanically, I think, again, no one's really swung hard, I think, for the metroidBRAINia plus fluid platforming thing. Justin's art is always unique and beautiful, and, like, that's just amazing to be in that world.
It also conveys a good puzzle sense in the way of, if you know how and where to exactly jump and move, you can beat it like in no time.
It's a game full of aha moments, and there's nothing better than aha moments. Yeah. What we've used before is like a parkour detective. You're just this super agile character, and you're just like putting all the clues together and figuring out all of the inner workings and the secrets and the weird things about the world and how to exploit those.
Our game it's going to go pretty several layers past typical ability sets, I would say. Where the game kind of starts you now is where a lot of platformers or metroidvanias might build you up to, like a quarter or halfway through the game in terms of like ability set. And you start out being this great athlete, and by the end of the game, you're like a demigod. You're just like messing with the world in ways you never even thought was part of the game. We're sort of starting you out with like wall kick and double jump and some other abilities that are just like at your disposal, because again, it's a game all about knowledge, so we can't like unlock those things slowly. We're already changing stuff, like stuff that people know about in the demo. They might be surprised to find those things don't work in the full game, because we're already trying to tune things so that we can surprise people.
The appeal with like Akapara's team felt very like genuine and like excited about the project, and I think we were like seeking people that really got the game.
Yeah, I could see the quality and the passion that they put into the projects they worked on.
It's a breath of fresh air to be partnered with someone who really is dedicated, and that kind of professional is someone that is the best to work with.
Akapara seemed to understand the game pretty quickly too. They grok what we were going at.
We all feel like invested together.
Both of us were looking for something unique, something refreshing, and that is something that Echo Weaver brings out. It also conveys what we are looking for in developers. Not always you get this type of relationships. It felt quite personal.
Know as little about it as you can.
Yeah, going as blind as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
The joy in this game is going to be using your brain to figure out the things that you need to do.
Sometimes being stuck on a challenge a little bit longer to finally get it yourself, it's going to be so much more rewarding than just looking it up online or talking to someone else.
To remember to have fun, take a moment and just sit and observe the game.
You feel like you're dying or failing a lot, like it doesn't matter. It's a loop. Just don't worry about the failure. Just if you want to keep trying, keep trying.
It is okay to fail. And it's more than just like you feel like you can do anything in whatever loop. And if something doesn't work, well, there's always the next one.